Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for December 2024, if you can believe it. You have this time to go card and this milk and honey card. So this time to go card kind of represents, leaving something behind. It's actually a really good card because I'll show you in a minute, but the lady on the card, she is kind of in this part of purgatory in her life. It's one of my purgatory cards. It says maybe you've been in a holding pattern, or you've been waiting for changes to come into your life, or you've been waiting for something better, and you've just kind of been in this in-between world. And I do feel that you are kind of getting out of that in-between world with that time to go card. The milk and honey card is a good card, but you could say you're enjoying life, but it kind of says like don't get high on your own supply, right? It says that you need to make sure that you're doing the things that will continue to make you successful. It kind of says like don't rest on your laurels, and I feel that for you, Pisces, that that it would be a good time to, I'm not saying that you shouldn't rest, because of course you should. There's a million retrogrades at the end of the year here, and pushing yourself too much during retrogrades is never a good idea. So just make sure that you understand that. But I would also say that maybe just having some sort of daily routine, or having maybe you pick a couple things that you do in like work or career or to be successful. And that milk and honey card, I feel, is saying like just keep doing those things. Even if it's just a couple of things that move you forward, as long as you don't get lazy, then I think you'll be fine. Like I said, that time to go card, that lady is about to reach that doorway that's in the background of the card. So I feel pretty good about this because, again, I feel like you've been waiting for something and, for a long time. We even have the world, which, the world is kind of similar because she's crossing through this portal here. And in the major arcana, we go from the Fool to the World. So we're always, going through this cycle of going through the entire major arcana as the Fool. Then we get to the World and we just start all over again. And so I kind of feel you're about to get something that you've been waiting for. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. The Six of Pentacles is a card of where you put your energy. He is giving to one person on this card, but he's not giving to the other. And I don't necessarily think this is about a person, but again, I do feel, like I said on that milk and honey card, that this month, December, is going to be an important month for you to just kind of like do the things that keep things moving forward in your life. And I think, I don't feel much here other than, just keep doing those things that are working in your life and don't get lazy. And as long as you do that, you'll be fine. You have the Knight of Cups. Definitely, you've been getting a lot of love in your readings. So if you want love, this could be like a new person or a knight in shining armor coming in for you. I do feel it could be a very dreamy time for you, Pisces, because again, because of the retrogrades, I just I don't know, I've noticed in myself as well, like when we have Mercury retrograde and everything else going retrograde, that I just kind of get a little bit more imaginative or dreamy. The secret with the Knight of Cups is to plant seeds, just like the Six of Pentacles also says plant seeds. So he's dreaming of something, but he has this water flowing in front of him, and all he has to do is plant seeds in front of that water, and they will grow. So I would do something, I don't necessarily think you have to start things at this time, but I would do something to bring things into the 3D. So if you're dreaming about something that you want to create, it's like, can you script about it? Like, I think even that's enough. Like, can you just journal about it and say, I have this idea that I want to do, and this is how I'm going to do it, right? Sometimes just externalizing it, putting it on a piece of paper is enough to bring that into 3D. And there is something here about this reading that is really saying you need to kind of ground those things. We see a lot of grounded energy here, especially with the Empress and the World, which we'll talk about. But, again, I think that is an important message for you. It's definitely popping into my head. As with everyone else, you have the Queen of Swords. So pretty much everyone at the end of the year here has been getting the Queen of Swords. I do think that this set of retrogrades could actually be just bringing in clarity. Again, I think people think of retrogrades as confusion, but really retrogrades can bring in a great deal of clarity because we can be processing things that we've been through. We can be looking at lessons we've learned. We can be, doing all of those things. And because we're processing that information, we're actually getting clarity. So, again, I think that even though it's a retrograde time, it could be a great retrograde time for getting clarity or understanding your journey or whatever you're doing. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Pentacles, money. Definitely is probably a good money time for you. So I think next year, as we move into next year, is going to be a good money time for you as well. Again, you're going to have to work for it. It's not going to magically appear in your life, and you're going to have to do different things for it as well. And I'm, not picking on anyone here, but I always get comments from people that are like, you said my money was going to improve and nothing happened. And I always say to those people, it's like, yes, you have to do something different than what you've been doing to make more. Tarot cannot make anything happen for you. I make that very freaking clear in my readings. So yes, you're going to have to do something different. With the Nine of Pentacles, and again, I practice solutions-based tarot, so I always tell people what to do. So what do you do with the Nine of Pentacles? With the Nine of Pentacles, you can do several things. Number one, you can focus on your environment with this little snail right here. The snail says, wears its home on its back, so it says you need to focus on your environment. Like, I know that if my house is a mess, it really distracts me, right? So I'm not going to get work done if there's a bunch of messes laying around. So I have to clean, right? And that's like just one example. Another example is, years ago I set my office up, so I hit one little button over here, everything turns on. I have a million things in here that I have to turn on to be able to do these videos. And if I had to do each little thing at once, it would just be a lot of resistance, right? So setting up systems, things like that is really where it's at with the Nine of Pentacles. Your focus is very important as well. She's choosing her focus with this Falcon, and also she's working on her skills. So like upgrading skills, learning new skills, all that would be really good to improve your finances with the Nine of Pentacles. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, it could be a big opportunity, especially, it could be love as well. The Ace of Pentacles is the path to marriage. So any of you who are hoping for a connection, there definitely could be a strong connection. Although it's not really, you really only have these two cards kind of that would represent love, but, whatever, still could be a possibility. I would also say this could be a great, great opportunity in work. So if you are trying to get a work opportunity, the Ace of Pentacles could be a big opportunity. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Queen of Swords. So great clarity or more clarity coming in for you with that Queen of Swords energy. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you in December, you have this blue heron. It says diplomacy, peacemaking, and positive omens. Love it. So definitely could be some positive omens happening for you. You have this mongoose. It says self-assertiveness, genuineness, and candidness. Both of these cards are kind of like energies of self-reliance. This card here says self-assertion or self-assertive, which is kind of similar. And the blue heron is an animal of self-reliance, like relying on yourself, getting things done yourself. That doesn't mean you can't work with other people. You have the Three of Pentacles, and but really what it says is that, to be self-reliant doesn't mean you're doing things alone. Even we have a lot of independence here, right? But what it means is that you are taking responsibility for everything that happens, whatever you're taking the lead on. So, I think that's going to be an important energy with that card as well. You have the Magician, the Two of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups. The Magician, of course, is about attraction, or the law of attraction, manifesting your own reality. He's pointing down to the Strength card and the Hermit. So the Strength card is definitely a card of personal development. She is taming her inner voice. And I think that this has definitely come up for you before. And I think this is a very Piscean thing. That self-talk or negative self-talk, I would make sure you're turning it into positive self-talk. I would also say that really the only limitation this month is probably going to be you. So the Strength card is all about, again, taming that inner voice so that you can accomplish the most. You have the Two of Pentacles. Again, everything in balance, right? Two of Pentacles is work hard, play hard. I would make sure, of course, that if you are working too hard, that you're not playing too hard. If you are playing too hard, make sure that you're working hard, and, vice versa as well. So Two of Pentacles, I just feel balance. I also kind of sometimes, not always, but sometimes I have a couple cards in the tarot that I call clue cards, and sometimes I feel that they're a clue for something else happening. It's not really like what the card means, but it's a clue. And the Two of Pentacles is my card of a settlement. So some of you could be receiving a settlement, but intuitively what I was getting is that some of you could be feeling like the universe is settling up with you. If you feel like the universe owes you something, then you could be getting whatever you think that is. You have the Five of Cups. I would just be careful of like that rumination energy, which I'm pretty sure I said in your last reading or one of your last readings as well. I think maybe it was the Pluto and Aquarius reading I did that I kind of got this energy of just like, overthinking things that haven't worked. And again, I would just be careful of that in all areas of your life, not just, money or love or whatever. I would say every single area of your life, if you're thinking too much about, the failures or whatever, then, I think you could get sucked down a rabbit hole. And I feel, the the Five of Cups has these two cups that are behind it. And the solution to the Five of Cups is to focus on what you do have, not on what you don't have. And then you get this bridge in the castle. So it's all about gratitude with the Five of Cups. And you also have the Empress and the Nine of Pentacles, which are both cards of practicing gratitude. With the Magician, that didn't work. Let's try it again. With the Magician, you have the Six of Pentacles. Yes, pay attention to what grows is what the Six of Pentacles and Magician basically represents. The Six of Pentacles says if you give something energy, does it produce a result? And if it does, then keep doing it. And that's how we can attract with the Magician and the Six of Pentacles. You also have two sixes touching now. I love two sixes in readings because two sixes usually says that you're on the right path or you're going in the right direction or you're doing what you need to be doing at this time. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the King of Swords. King of Swords is about discernment and being able to tell what's right and wrong in your life. And some of you could be moving away from something here. Well, I think you are, because you had this card that said, what does it say? It says time to let go. So some of you could be letting go of something here. It doesn't have to be a person, but one thing I will say is I do not like the King and Queen of Swords together in a reading because usually they're two people who are too much like in their mind. Number one, they're like being too logical, and relationships are not logical. Number one. Number two, they are not seeing eye to eye. So again, if you are currently dealing with a person where you're not seeing eye to eye, this could be you moving on. Obviously, if you don't have a person, then this probably isn't for you, that part of the message. With the Five of Cups, you have the Page of Cups. Yeah, definitely a new person coming in for you. There's like not enough here yet. And this could change, as we clarify more. But it does feel to me like this is something that just, really isn't in your energy field yet if you are looking for love. So again, this could be like a person who has their eye on you and you just don't know it yet. Or it could be like a secret admirer or something along those lines. But, I think that it's showing up in the reading because, especially if you've been single for a while, this could be saying that love is coming, and I kind of get that feeling. Again, more dreamy energy as well. And I was getting some sort of message about that. About like, don't just stay in that dream mode. Like I said, I would take, no matter how small the action is, if you're dreaming about something, I would do something to bring it into the 3D, like I was saying on the Knight of Cups as well. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this card that says it's time to release negativity. Strength card. We were basically saying that. You have this balance, spirituality, and practicality. Yes, this reading is all about balance as well. Kind of balancing out both sides of yourself and, what you're imagining and bringing it into the 3D. That would be balance as well. I think people are afraid to start things during retrogrades, but, I think that, number one, I've started so many things during retrogrades that I still am doing to this day. And when I launched DENT Makers, I launched it during a retrograde. That was a year ago, and I'm still doing it, right? So again, I think people put too much pressure on the whole, don't start during retrogrades. If something's meant to work, it's going to work. It doesn't matter if it's a retrograde, doesn't matter if your mom is in retrograde, none of that matters, right? Just get started. And, I've proven that to myself so many times. I bought a computer, the very first computer that I shot my videos on for this channel. That was the computer I used for the first 6 years of this channel, and it was I bought it 2 years before I started the channel. So again, do we have to follow the rules? Maybe, but just pay attention, you'll be fine. I think that there is definitely a major release going on here. We have the time to go. We have the Six of Swords, the Queen of Swords, King of Swords. All this energy is about really moving on and moving forward with the Six of Swords energy. Six of Swords is about moving on to calmer shores. And, I think that I wouldn't say that your life is calm right now, but I think the universe is trying to get you to create a calmer life or maybe a more predictable life, not so much living in the Neptunian Pisces oceans. Neptune is in Pisces right now. But I don't even think that Neptune rules Pisces, even though that's what, modern astrologers say rules Pisces. I think Jupiter still rules Pisces. Neptune is like the deepest, darkest ocean with a million hurricanes over your head. It is just chaos. And I think that really, for the most part, that, like I said, I don't think that Neptune in Pisces is great for thinking clearly. And so I think that this is about you thinking more clearly and, bringing things down into this world, but also not living in such a chaotic environment, kind of bringing more order to your life is kind of the message that I get off of the Six of Swords. I feel like you've had a craving to do this as well. Like, I feel like you literally crave more stability, and you could be creating it. You have the Strength card. I think this is, you conquering your mind for the most part. That's what I said at the beginning of the reading, literally popped into my head when I put it down, that Pisces is conquering their mindset, or, how they think about themselves and even situations in their life. And that's it. There's really nothing to add here because I think you're just doing it, which is a good thing. You have the World. The world can be an accomplishment. I do think you're accomplishing a lot, or at least you have the opportunity to accomplish a lot right now. So, again, even with the retrogrades, I would still try to, work on whatever you're working on. Saturn direct, I think, is really helpful for you. Saturn moved direct on the 15th of November, and I think that it is really helpful. I mean, I think that it might make you feel more motivated, and maybe it's taken a little bit of time. Like, today is the 22nd of November, so it's only been like 7 days since went direct. And Saturn's slow. It's slow moving. It's not super slow moving, but it's slower moving, and it might take a little bit of time to feel it. But I do feel by the time we get to December that you will be feeling more motivated. With the Six of Swords, do not repeat a cycle. This right here is like two people who will never see eye to eye. And again, with the retrogrades, I would definitely be careful of the past. I think that what Pisces needs to realize as well is that, with Pluto moving into Aquarius, it's like you've cleared out your karma. So, in a lot of ways, it's like, don't repeat karma is kind of what this is saying right here, right? And that could be any past mistake. It doesn't even have to be a person. With the Strength card, you have the Sun. Definitely a lot of happiness. The Sun says that you need to draw your attention to things that make you feel joy, happiness, peace, like all the good feelings. And so the Sun wants us to focus on the good stuff, and that's definitely what I would do. Some of you could be attracting a Leo as well. So if you want love, definitely could be a Leo. I don't know what it is, but I have a bunch of Pisces friends, obviously. I feel like Pisces just schooled together, and a bunch of them are dating Leos right now. So, there you go. With the World, you have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is burdens. Ten of Wands says you're very close to your goal. So I definitely wouldn't give up. He's about to reach his home in the background here, and, I feel a lot of you are, very close. The other thing I'm hearing, I'm just going to tell you what I'm hearing because it was a weird message, but, I was hearing something about, Pisces. It's like I feel like people are going to be saying you were right in the future. It's like, I'm hearing a lot of, I wish I listened to Pisces, and so, maybe you have been spending a lot of time, it's almost like you've been spending a lot of time trying to prove things to people in your life, like bosses, mentors, family, things like that. And it's like, maybe you've been trying to prove things to people, and I kind of feel like you need to release that burden of proving things and just do it, right? So, I think that's true about life in general, that we shouldn't try to prove anything. We should just do what we say. And it's just that simple. But, I think a lot of people in the future are going to be like, wow, I wish I listened to Pisces. There you go. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this challenges card and this fertility and creation card. Funny enough, on the challenges card, I think you're embracing challenges. It's like you have been through these challenges and you've done a lot of hard things with the Ten of Wands. And now, instead of running away from challenges, I think you're almost looking for more challenges. And, I think that's when you can become truly powerful. You have this fertility and creation card. You also have the Empress, so it could be a great time for creation. You have the Three of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Hermit. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. This is going to be true for the next 20 years with Pluto and Aquarius. So, again, that doesn't mean you should wait 20 years, or it's 19 years, but, really you shouldn't wait. You should start doing this right now. You will get the benefits of teamwork right now. I think you learned a lot of lessons about who are the right people for your team, who are the wrong people for your team, and I would also pay attention to what you've learned. I also feel, by the way, I don't know, I'm getting a lot of messages in your reading, but I also feel like some of you could be showing something off. Again, you're not showing off as in you're not like telling people what you're doing. I think you're just doing it and getting attention for the work that you've done. You have the Empress. Yeah, a lot of abundance. I do feel it could be a really abundant time for you. There's no doubt about it that you're going to have to work for it, like I said, and you're going to probably have to do things differently. Again, if you want more abundance and work, and you're doing the same thing you've been doing for 20 years, obviously you're going to have to do something different to increase your finances, and that might include getting a new job, right? Or getting something different, or telling your boss like, hey, I need a raise or I'm out of here, right? So I think there are a ton of things you could do, but you're going to have to do them. The Empress is easy though. The Empress doesn't struggle to grow that wheat in front of her. She just waves her scepter in front of her and that wheat will grow. So she isn't like struggling to get this wheat to grow. And I think that's going to be, you don't necessarily have to work hard to get the result here. I also feel like you're very attractive at this time. So again, I think that there could be love coming in for you. I kind of feel like this is saying, though, I feel like the whole reading is saying, don't just like marry the first person you meet. I think Pisces does this, right? And as a Pisces, I totally get it. But I think this is saying, like, don't just like fall in love with the person right away. I kind of feel a little bit of an energy of you needing to put yourself on a pedestal. And I'm not suggesting that you should play games. I think all the games people play nowadays are ridiculous anyway. But I think this is saying, like, let someone earn it, right? You have the Hermit. The Hermit is about having been through a dark night of the soul. I kind of feel like this is talking about the long journey that you've been on, and you've learned a lot. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups says in the good stuff that something will not be a disappointment. Usually the Four of Cups is kind of looking at these past disappointments, but I feel that something, this is more saying that you're getting like a new offers into your life that are not disappointing, which is good. With the Empress, you have the Strength card again. So again, you can talk yourself into Empress mode. The Strength card is about quieting that voice that tells you can't do something. And again, the Empress obviously would practice really positive self-talk. So I think that's going to be important. With the Hermit, you have the Three of Cups. Yes, time to socialize for sure. So if you have been in hermit mode, or if you haven't been, socializing, getting out there, spending time with friends, things like that, then, I think it's time for you to socialize. You have this Lightning card. Everybody is probably going to get this card. It says, control your anger or you will be sorry. We have Mars going retrograde at the end of the year, and, Mars retrograde can make us fly off the handle or, do whatever. So I would just say, keep a cool head here. You have this gavel. It says involvement with the law. If you are involved with the law, you have the King of Swords, which is law and order. So if you are dealing with something legal, I think things will be fine. This could be like justice or something good coming in for you. You have this feather. It says someone is undependable and insincere. And so I think that a lot of you, again, if you're working with people and they're just not cutting it, then I think this could say, like, avoid those people or cut those people out. This could also be the King of Swords and Queen of Swords. It could just be a person you're not seeing eye to eye with. And the Nine of Swords says, do not repeat the cycle. Plain and simple. You have the Scissors card. It says disappointment in some affair. Yeah, there might be some sort of disappointment. Like, again, King of Swords, Queen of Swords, Nine of Swords would be some sort of disappointment that you have to release or let go of. And I kind of said that earlier. It's like this needs to be let go of so that you can invite all the rest of the good stuff in. You have this bullet that says, do not back down. Do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. Again, I think it would be a really good month. Like, don't tell anyone anything, I think this is saying, show people what you're made of. And that's it, right? So really good reading. I love this. Thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.